Welcome Ambassador Lutfi Raouf to our program. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. Shukran jazilan. It's also a great pleasure to be here, to be with you. Thank you once again.
First of all, we need to shed light on our bilateral relations between the two countries, and especially diplomatic relation.
First of all, of course, if we're talking about the bilateral relations, the relation between the two countries, the two peoples, is starting far back in the centuries ago, even during the times according to history, even during the time of pharaonic era, when there is a kind of substance from Indonesians natural resources that is used for mummify, for embalmment.
Okay.
And this is long times ago.
Very interesting.
And even before also Indonesian proclaimed their independence, our two people already had a contact, especially for instance those Indonesians who traveled to Saudi Arabia performing Hajj pilgrimage. They meet their brothers and sisters there from Egypt. From there on, they continue to communicate, and I think also because of that early context, our students start to come here to study in Al-Azhar. As far as I know, I think even since 18th centuries, but I have information also that even our students came here to study Al-Azhar in the 14th centuries.
Okay.
But I believe that our students, our people come from Indonesia, coming here much earlier to study Al-Azhar. One of the proof, if the people traveling or visiting Al-Azhar University, there's a place that's called Ruak Jawi. That means the people from Java. It is therefore very obvious that relation between our two countries exists a long times ago and continue to be existing until now. This is a great pleasure for us. And number two, for the recent history, Egypt is the first Arabic country who recognized the independence of Indonesia that we proclaimed 17th of August 1945. Egypt just recognized a few months after that, back in March or June 1946, which is this anniversary of bilateral relation between Egypt and Indonesia.
75 years.
75 years.
A long time.
Long times. That means, compared to others, the relations exist much earlier. 75 years. I think one of the oldest in these regions.
We need also, Excellency, to know the number of students who are studying here at Al-Azhar University. I know we have a lot of Indonesian students who are studying here.
Egypt, especially Al-Azhar, is the place where almost every household Indonesian know very well. That's been reflected into the numbers of the Indonesian students continue to come to Al-Azhar. This year alone, we have around 2,200 students this year alone.
Only this year?
Only this year. Making the total numbers, according to our record, making the total numbers about 12,000 Indonesian students studying in Egypt, mostly to Al-Azhar. And then there is a growing interest and enthusiasm for our students to come to study Al-Azhar. Why is that? As I mentioned before, Egypt are well known to the Indonesian community, Indonesian people, especially Al-Azhar.
Okay.
So that's why Indonesian student is the largest
number of students at Al-Azhar.
In Al-Azhar. We have, I think, total number of foreign students from over 100 countries in studying Al-Azhar, about 40,000 something. So Indonesian is about 12,000.
We can see you have a lot of textiles at the background, and especially for Ramadan, do you have a special textile?
We have this kind of also a kind of typical dress.
Dress
Typical
for
dress.
Ramadan.
For Ramadan,
Okay.
even use not only in Ramadan, mostly in the countryside, and also in many Islamic boarding school, they're using sarung. You know, if you look sarung, we call it sarung. I don't know how you call it here in Egypt. Just a dress you put inside, and then wearing
close it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then have a hat, black one. Black one. Here in Egypt, you have also, but there's in Indonesia, black one.
Black one.
Yes, that is mainly used in during Ramadan, especially because Ramadan is special month for the Muslim all over the world, including Indonesian. I believe so also here in Egypt. That's where they have different way in celebrating it, in welcoming the Ramadan.
Okay. You are offering during Ramadan Mawa'id Rahman here in Egypt or in Indonesia?
This is Mawa'id Rahman is another traditions that we are sharing. Either here in our community here in Egypt or back to Indonesia. This is the month where people are sharing. This is the month where those who have enough fortune that can share to the needy one. Like here in our community also here, we have this kind of also sharing. And I'm very grateful also to hear from my people here during the Ramadan, many philanthropists from Egypt during this time of the years, Ramadan, also share or give food or something else during the Ramadan, especially
the holy months,
especially for iftar.
For iftar.
Yes.
What is the popular food for Ramadan?
You know, as I mentioned before, all correlated to the ethnic groups. We have so many ethnic groups. They have their own.
You're breaking the fasting with what? Different
kind of food. So you name it, from east to the west, they have their own typical food. From west, they have mainly the food. The taste is very spicy. Spicy, influenced by the Middle East, Indian food. There's more spicy. And then if you're traveling a little bit further east to Java, there's another variety of food. A lot of vegetables, a lot of how to call it, a little bit sweet. You go further to the east. This is another different thing. Mainly seafood, fish in a very simple, how to call it, recipe. So during this time of Ramadan, this is where the people enjoy very much. This is the month that everybody's waiting for. This is the month everybody is excited to celebrate in many ways of doing it. For instance, during the fasting month, this is the tradition also I observe here in Egypt. I've been here, I think, hopefully, inshallah, if you're talking about Ramadan, the second Ramadan I've been here in Egypt. The first Ramadan I observed that tradition. When the people wake up in the early morning to prepare sahur, I think you use the sahur. In Indonesia we call it sahur.
Sahur.
Yes. Where the children moving around, I remember when I was a kid in the countryside, moving around the village, waking up the people by, hitting or bringing the, whatever drums or whatever noisy things they can make to wake up the people for sahur. This is also, I know, the tradition here in Egypt when the kids, young people going around neighborhood to wake up the people. Of course, the mosque also, performing their functions to wake up the people in the morning to prepare their sahur.
Do you have a special drink for Ramadan?
Similarity of the tradition during the sahur. During iftar.
Iftar.
You know, when the, how to call it, here in Egypt, you know, when the time is coming, you have a kind of a canon to sign that the time is to break.
Ah, yes, okay.
In Indonesia, we have a, how to call it, the big drum,
yeah.
of the mosque. In the modern times, you know, we have a sirens in the minaret of the mosque.
Okay.
The sign, how to call it, the marking the end of the fasting, the time for breaking the fast. Yeah. So the first to do is drinking water to break the fast, and then take a korma.
Korma is it's the dates.
Yeah, dates.
Date.
3 pieces.
3 pieces.
3 pieces. 3 pieces dates. Korma, we call it in Indonesia, and then water. And then go to perform this Maghrib Sholah first, but some other end up in the dining table to break up. So if you're asking him about what kind of the typical dreams, of course, in many places have a different kind of, but mostly Indonesian people, when they break their fasting, they drink coconut juice. Coconut juice? Yes. Mixed with milk or with how to call it, syrup in a different way.
It's very delicious, huh?
Yes, and mostly they start breaking fast with eating the sweet, and different kind of sweet, of course. Because especially for breaking the fast with a sweet thing, including dates, they always say that is a sunnah. A sunnah, yes. Sunnah from Rasulullah to break the fast with the sweet things, especially dates.
What would you like, Excellency, to tell to our Islamic countries and for Muslims during Ramadan and celebrating this holy month?
This is also our traditions. We are greeting each other before starting Ramadan, seeking for forgiveness. And then, because this is very holy month of the entire months during the days, we wish everybody to start with this Ramadan with the good health, happiness, with the good, how to call it, good faith. That's why we always say, Ramadan Kareem. It is therefore I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Indonesian Embassy, on behalf of the people of Indonesia who are staying here in Egypt, extending our best wishes to our brothers and sisters in Islam in Egypt. Very happy Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala continue to bless us in this very holy of Ramadan with a lot of reward, inshallah.
What do you like to say for people before iftar?
As we normally do as a tradition, to express our sincere gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that we can complete our fasting during the day. Let us say, Allahumma lakasumtum wa bika amantum wa la rizqika aftartum. Have a nice iftar. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala continue to bless us all. Shukran.
Thank you, Excellency, for your time. It was a pleasure to have you, and كل سنة وحضرتك طيب.
Thank you also for giving me the opportunity to share my informations about Indonesia to our brothers and sisters in Egypt, the country that is very close to the heart of Indonesian people, the country who has very strong and good relations since long times ago until now.
Thank you.
We are looking forward, of course, to continue this friendship in the many years to come, because this year is only 75 years anniversary of bilateral relation between two countries. We will need to move further in many years to come as friends, as brothers and sisters.
Thank you so much.
Shukran jazilan. Thank you very much.